We have 9,000 support agents. We've already done more than 500,000 of these interactions with customers and agents. But that idea, I think, is pretty big and pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is. I know it's maybe a complicated topic, but I've invested early in a bunch of folks in the contact center, Gorgeous, which has 20,000 Shopify customers, and TalkDesk in the Salesforce ecosystem. I'm seeing folks already reducing headcount there 30%, already 30% in a year. It's crazy. What any thoughts on that trend?
I'm thinking that I would like to try to do that myself. And I think that's a big idea. I can deploy those resources to other parts of the company where I desperately need more help and more capability. And I encourage customers to really look at that. That said, customers, especially large companies like ours, the ability to do something like that in a material way, it takes time.
Yeah.
It's that old phrase, people overestimate what you're going to do in a year and underestimate what you're going to do in a decade. And that is where we are with this as well, which is that, yes, we can say this is what's going to happen to the contact center, but we might be saying that a year from now or 2 years from now still. And then incrementally, we'll have more examples, we'll have pioneers, people have done it, but we're still at the beginning of a lot of these opportunities.
Yeah. So we rolled out a little AI just on SaaStr itself. We had 30,000 conversations in 1 month. It's just pretty crazy. And one of the things that surprised me, I thought I knew about AI until I saw it on the other side. What's really interesting, how people do things you wouldn't expect. Right? Like today, someone had a half an hour board discussion about how to work with their board. They shared their board deck. They reached out to me. They did you wouldn't expect it, right? Any things you've seen that are unexpected?
I think some of the things that I've seen that are unexpected are also expected. And I think and I like talking about some of these customer stories.
Yeah.
The Singapore Airlines story, the Salesforce story, this idea that we're already done 500,000 conversations. As we kind of head to Dreamforce, I'm sure that we'll get into the millions.
Yep.
And then when I see really solid customers of ours, Lennar, which is one of the largest home builders in the United States, for years, they've had this vision that they've talked to us about of not just using our apps, they use all of our apps and do all the customer work, but how can they really provide more service to their customers? How can they provide more revenue lines to their customers? And that idea, that has become very real. That's actually happening right now